All right, Sarah, whenever you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Gala. So today we're going to be doing some calming crafts, and I'm going to do this. Awesome from my end. So basically we're going to be making two things, a calming jar and Play-Doh. So the first thing that we're going to do is a calming jar. And so I'll tell you the things that you need first, and then we can kind of go over everything afterwards. So you need an empty water bottle or jar. So I have a water bottle here, which I already put some water in it. So then I was a bit more prepared. Plastic is nice, just so then, because you're going to be putting other stuff in here. Or a jar that you don't need anymore. So like I had spaghetti the other night. So I cleaned it out and I can fill it up as well. And then, so make sure that's cleaned out. You want, depending on how large your jar is, maybe 2 cups, 3 cups of water and vegetable oil. So thank you. I just have regular cooking vegetable oil. And then I did on my flyer suggest that if you wanted to, you can have food coloring. So I have some food coloring options here, red and blue, and some glitter. And like I said, these are just optional. You don't actually need them. But if you want them, they're there. So while you're gathering that stuff, I'm going to just like be talking for a second about like why we're doing calming crafts. So with crafts, sometimes I can be frustrated because I'm not very good at like creating things. I don't have like really a creative bone in my body when I talk to my students, but I like to do things that are easy and like easy for me to comprehend. And so I thought like maybe doing something that's less stressful with crafts. So nothing like intense painting, even like coloring in the paint is stressful for me, but something that I can actually use. So a calming jar is essentially filled with the ingredients that I had mentioned, and you shake them together and you watch like the oil settle basically. And if you put glitter in it, so say if you put it together today and then you decide, oh, I want to put glitter in it later, you can do that. And that will like also settle. And so depending on like what things that you put in here, it will kind of vary, depends on like how long they'll settle. And what that is supposed to do is to kind of like help calm you down. So for this, it's going to be like 60 seconds, so a minute of just like where you're focusing on this water bottle to like calm down and chill. So say you're anxious right before an exam, shake it up. And then you just watch it. You watch the glitter come to the floor or to the bottom. You watch the oil maybe like separate and the colors separate, different things of the sort. So kind of keep that in mind. So that's like what a calming jar does. You can look up online for a variety of different things that you can put in here. I've seen things where people put like little toys for kids if they want to, bigger pieces of glitter, things of the sort. And then if you're like, oh, I really like this, you want to make sure that you hot glue this part so then it doesn't actually affect, like if you're shaking it and it comes off, that's a mess. So you could hot glue it or like maybe duct tape it if that's what you have. Whatever you have in your house is what you want to use. So give me a second. I'm going to mute myself real quick while I gather everything and get it together. Okay, so my roommate is off to the side right here. She's actually going to be making the jar one, and I'm going to be using a water bottle. So Jen, can I have your jar real quick? This is about how much that she put in there on, do you remember how much you poured, Jen?
It was about 2 cups.
2 cups. So, and then I have about 2 cups in here as well. And then I just take I'm gonna actually take my food coloring, so that if anyone wants food coloring. Jen, I have a couple of other options. If you want that. Oh my goodness, let's take this off. So again, this is optional, but for me, I might actually try it and see if that helps make it a little more prominent for you to see on your screen. So I just put in 5 drops of red. And then I'm going to shake it. I have blue right here too, Jen. So red, there we go. It's not Kool-Aid. And then I'm going to put some vegetable oil in here. It kind of just depends on how much you want. So what happens is, of course, oh my goodness gracious, what I didn't think about is that it might be hard for whoever to see since I have a label on here. Now bear with me, these are, you know, DIYs at home. They don't always see. So as you might be able to see, there's like a whole layer that's separated right here. So that's why I decided to use red, was so then you can see this part that's separated and then this redness right here. So I'm going to put a little bit more and try not to pour it. And then my roommate's going to try it as well. How much do I pour? So that's a great question, Jen. So I poured, I don't actually know the amount because I'm actually just going based on these lines. So yeah, about 3/4. And Jen decided to do blue, which is fun. I actually like that color a lot too.
I could add purple. I mean, I could add red to make purple.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So, okay, Jen's is actually a cooler difference. So yeah, so you can see that how it's separated and you can see all the bubbles. So it's kind of cool just to look at and then shake it. And then you just watch it. So obviously it's gonna like look like Kool-Aid for a little bit. But you watch it, and you watch the top. Actually, for this, since it's oil, and the thing is science, water and oil don't actually mix, so it's separating. So you can see that it's lighter here because it's working to separate. So then you just set it there and you just watch it. I know, not super fun. But if you're feeling anxious before an exam, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I have like something going on in my life, you know, stressful relationship, I have a quiz coming up, something going on with my guardians, whatever, you can shake this and kind of just watch it separate and look completely different again. Boom. So that's kind of cool. I know, I feel like a makeup person. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put some glitter in it. So I really shouldn't have used red because red is not a common color. I just thought that maybe that would be the best option.
I like red.
You like red. So I'm gonna put some glitter in it, and the glitter is there. That will, I think, I'm not a scientist, sink to the bottom. I might have to put more. So I put some silver glitter in there. Let me shake it up. I might need it.
I see it.
You see it? Okay. But I just don't know how it's going to, yeah, I'm gonna do more. And then I'm gonna take Jen so then you can see how hers looks. What color glitter would you like, Jen? I have silver opened right here. So we're watching. It's kind of hard, like cameras are not high-tech quality, but you kind of see the glistening of it. So if anything, the glitter just makes it fun. It might not actually sink so much. I read to use fine glitter. I tried this actually a little over a week ago to make sure that it works, that it separates, even though I know science, that oil and water will separate, but the glitter was a new addition. So if anything, it just makes it look fun. And I might need to put a lot in for it to sink to the bottom. So so that's that, and now it's separated again. So you can use that and shake it up.
She needs some more glitter.
She needs more glitter.
Yeah.
Okay. So Jen did blue, a nice calming color. And then you can see already how it's separating on the top. And now it's getting lighter. And she put silver glitter in there as well, but it's kind of hard to see, but it has a nice shimmer to it. So that's just like, that's one thing. And it does look really cool. Thanks, CLF. CLF says it looks awesome. So thank you. And you can kind of see how the different colors too. So it's really nice. You just sit there and it takes like 60 seconds to like kind of help calm you down. I know like with me, I have anxious thoughts at nights, like at night right before I go to bed. So that's super helpful to kind of calm me down, get those thoughts out of my head while I'm like focusing on these two separating. So that's one. Super easy.
I have a question, Sarah.
Yes.
So I know you're mixing in different liquids in order to have them separated. Can you add a different food coloring to each liquid so that it's a different color?
That's a great question. I don't know if oil will mix with different colors. That seems like a dumb thing for me to not know. Do you know?
I have no idea.
I have no idea. That's a great question.
Yeah. Because I was just thinking like, wow, that's a really cool thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
But like, if it like we're trying to make it like a rainbow, just like a type of mix
Yeah.
of different colors. Yeah.
Interesting. Let me actually, I've mixed it, but it's separated. So let me actually try it. Where's the blue?
It's in there.
Oh, it's in there. Let me actually try that color. I'm like afraid to mix it because I don't want the water to. Can we like a straw or something to like mix it with? Should have my roommate come on screen since she's my sidekick.
I'm so pretty.
Okay, let's see if.
Changing the bottom.
Okay. Oh no, it's changing the color at the bottom. Maybe not.
I'm just gonna shake it and see if there's a difference between yours and mine.
Yeah. So it kind of just became a weird. There's red and blue in there.
Yeah, shake it. You can see the glitter a lot better.
So it doesn't look like it, but I created purple. And it's still like very glittery if you can see that. And it's separating. So it doesn't look like I can dye the vegetable oil in here. So I might have to separate them, but maybe, actually, what the issue is that I used water-based food dye. And it's not going to mix because water and oil. So I'm pretty sure I read that you can get oil-based food dye. So that actually might work better for if I wanted to dye the oil. But then also you could put like little drops of oil colored food dye into water and watch those bubbles too. So it's separated and it looks kind of cool now. And I promise it's purple. It's not, it looks kind of black. And then here's Jen's. So Jen decided to do the same thing to see. So yeah, we're gonna let those settle for a second and see if anything happens to the glitter too. So do we have any questions on that, or should I attempt the at-home Play-Doh? Okay, awesome. So for Play-Doh, we want to take a bowl, any bowl, and we're going to mix a few items for that. So I have them on my phone here. So you want all-purpose flour, so a lot Mine just looks like regular all-purpose flour from the store, gold brand, gold medal brand. Salt. Boom. Water again, and vegetable oil that I showed you earlier. And then optional, you can also have coloring with that too. And then optional as well. Sorry, my roommate was being a great friend and getting me more water. Is essential oils. So I just grabbed something that like it's a roll-on that someone gave me forever ago that I might try and attempt to like put a couple of drops in here. But that's extra. You don't necessarily need that. And then this is kind of like what the final product will look like. Because eventually once you're done making it, you want to put it in an airtight container. So, oops. So then it will look like that. And with this, I really like to play with the Play-Doh, like just while I'm in class on Zoom, because I personally have an issue where I'm like, oh, let me grab my phone real quick. And, you know, look at Instagram, look at TikTok. And then I'm like, oh, I'm not paying attention in class. I mean, full disclosure, like as a grad student, it happens. So if I really am like, oh, I need to focus, I grab something like this. It can also act like a stress ball too. And you can of course, make things as well with it if you want to like actually use it for like Play-Doh when you make houses and animals and snakes and stuff. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to mute myself while I get my flour together so then I'm not loud on your end. Okay, so while you may have been gathering your things or possibly just watching me do like random stuff, I was putting a bunch of ingredients in the bowl already. So then like I could start mixing it and kind of telling you like what I'm doing. So I have a mixture here. And what I did is I put equal parts flour and salt. So I started with 1/4 cup. Last time I made this, I did like a cup of each and I made like a ton. Like this was only half of it. So I started with 1/2 cup and then I did, 1/4 cup. You can also eyeball it too. Like if you just want to use a cup in your room and you try and eyeball like how much salt and how much flour, like equal parts. And then a little less than 1/4 cup of water and you want to mix it. And then you also want to put in a little less than a tablespoon and start mixing it. And then
That was a vegetable oil.
Hmm?
A vegetable oil?
A vegetable oil. Did I not say that? Yeah, a little less than a teaspoon of vegetable oil. Thank you to my sidekick, roommate, and friend, Jen. Much appreciated. So then you just want to keep mixing it. And mine's a little watery right now, which is totally okay. I would prefer to have that right now. And then like just keep adding. So I'm going to add another 1/4 cup flour right now. And can I have the salt, please? And a little, we're gonna do about like 1/8 salt right now. And then we'll probably add more salt in a little bit, but I want to make sure that.
Real quick,
Yes.
what is the salt for?
What is the salt for? Is that what you asked, Colette?
Correct.
That's a science-based question. That's oof. So I think like the salt helps kind of like put it all together, and also helps. So a lot of times with Play-Doh, you have to like cook it. And so when I was trying to figure out if I could feasibly do this, most blogs, really actually blogs that I looked at, said if you're going to do a no cook Play-Doh, you need more salt, because that kind of makes sure that nothing, like no bacteria grows, since flour is still like an active like food item. So that's like what it's really there for, is that part. So we're getting there. I mixed it up and it looks like that. Still not totally Play-Doh-y. So I'm going to keep mixing it. Jen, would you mind seeing if you can take that top off and see if we can make it into an essential oil? Actually, I'm going to put more flour in there. So I put a little less than 1/4 cup in again. The thing is depending on like how much you put in, you might need to put in more, you might need to put in less. So don't always follow the exact measurements that I have, because it can vary per person. So then now that it's like kind of getting into pieces, I'm gonna attempt some food dye.
She's not. Maybe just roll it on your hands and then do it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No.
That's okay. So I'm trying to make purple. That's the goal.
It's more blue.
Yeah.
That's what the blue is.
Because the smell that I have is lavender. So now I'm going to use my hands and just mix it, because it's easier. It's like being a kid again. I'm a big kid now. So Play-Doh is really helpful. So for someone like me, I don't really like a lot of things like touching a lot of like icky things. So this is like, this is testing me a little bit, but I really do like that it kind of forces me to focus on like what I'm doing with my hands, like with the Play-Doh, and kind of focus on the activity that I'm doing, and use it as a coping mechanism to kind of calm down about like whatever that I'm stressed about. So that's kind of why I chose this. And then you just want to keep mixing it. Now my hands are all sticky. May I have more flour, please?
What do you want?
Enough to make it not so sticky on my hands. So right now my color is more of a blue rather than a purple. So might need to work on that. Oh, she's gonna put more food dye in there. Go ahead. Let's see. And I am keeping an eye on the time, because I know that Common Crafts, we said that it would be an hour. We did start a little late, so my apologies. but I am attempting this now. Should have like some music going while I'm mixing this, and then it's not like awkward silence. Jen's gonna sing for us.
Got some elevator music.
Right. So yeah, you just gotta keep kneading it. And I actually find this part a little therapeutic once it like all starts to stick together. And then once you're done with this, you want to store it in an airtight container. Mine has lasted for about 2 weeks so far. And it's a little sticky right now. And so I don't know if like that's just because maybe I didn't add enough salt in before, or it's just like the end of its time. A lot of times they do last for quite a while. So if you're just like, oh, maybe it's a little sticky, you can add a little bit more flour and salt to it, whatever your personal preference is. But we are definitely working. Oh, on a whole piece of Play-Doh that hasn't even been mixed with the big bunch. So still, it's a blue color for me still, which is okay. I think we're gonna kind of keep it at that. So I'm gonna move this down here so then I can kind of show you what I got so far. So you mix it all together, and like the Let's asked, the salt is really what helps keep it from going bad, essentially. And if you did try to mix 2 colors, something that I kind of messed up on was I should have mixed it with like dyed the water first before I like mixed it with the water before I put it in, and then put it in. So then I didn't have to like worry about trying to like mix the color now. But now, no, never mind my hands. You have Play-Doh. So if yours is still a little sticky, you just need to add a little bit more flour. So then it doesn't stick to your hands as much. I do have some flour here in my bowl that I'm just kind of like picking up as I stick it in, sort of thing. And then mixing it together. And then if you really wanted to, if you were trying to get fancy, you could put some essential oil. We can't get this the roll off, so I'm actually going to just try and put some on my hand and roll it onto my Play-Doh and see if that makes it nice and smelly. Lavender is known as like a nice calming scent, so if you mix it in, or if you have another scent that you just really like that you think reminds you of home, if your mom was always like burning cupcake smelling candles or vanilla candles, you could do that, or have something smell like the forest because you like that scent, or Christmas, or whatever else. So yeah, smells like eucalyptus and lavender, or I'm sorry, not eucalyptus and lavender, sage and lavender, my bad. So now it looks a little bit more blue, but it's like a light purple blue. And there's your Play-Doh. And like I said, airtight container. If you're bored in class and you want to reach for your phone, reach for this instead and play with it while you're in class, while you're studying. If you need something to do with your hands, I had ADD actually. And so as someone who kind of suffers from like needing to pay attention to a bunch of different things, this really helps calm me down and focus on whoever I'm talking to at that time. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Does anyone have any questions?
That looks great, Sarah. I think you said it, but did you say that these usually typically last about 2 weeks?
Mine has lasted about 2 weeks so far. So it might be able to last a little bit longer. And if you do want it to last a little longer, but you find it sticking, I would add a little bit more salt and flour to it. And then, but if not, just like make a new batch when you're ready.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, that was my only question. Thank you so much for sharing. I think that's awesome, especially during this time of intense finals. and just the overall semester. I know it's a very stressing time. We're just all
Definitely.
waiting for the semester to end. And I think the most important thing more than anything is just us taking care of ourselves, of our mental and physical health. And I think these de-stress type of activities and these little de-stress balls are really important. So yeah, that looks great. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you.